the time of the Louisiana Purchase, this section of the state was essentially a no man's land. Criminals would come far and wide to seek refuge. As an answer to quell more lawlessness, this imposing jail was built so it would send the message, crimes will not be tolerated here. 2 men would soon find out this was very true.
Let me see if I can find some lights. There.
Oh, there we go.
We have light. Now, the jailer and his family would live here. This is a pretty large apartment.
Yeah.
So they had a little bathroom.
That's neat. I mean, all this, you can see actually, so this would have been divided off. There was some sort of a, looks like a wall on both sides of here. But.
And also, drop ceiling. You can actually see around.
You can see all the rafters. And then this is, well, hang on a second. Okay, so this continues as a wall, but this is a window, correct?
Unless there was a wall and there was a doorway here.
Yeah, true.
And maybe a doorway the other side.
Yeah.
I do know that that was a door because that led out, that was the back door where people could come and go. It's blocked off now. You can't access it. But that was a door.
Right. But, I mean, like you said, even still, very spacious, very...
It's massive.
Yeah.
So this was captured by a photographer, a local photographer called Christine Smith during an area shoot via a cherry picker. She was taking photos and caught this on the balcony. And then this picture that was captured is believed to be the ghost of the jailer. Now, the jailer's been seen walking around with a big bushy moustache, drinking a cup of coffee in his bibbed overalls.
And what gives this a little bit more credibility, because people have tried to disprove it, obviously, this was actually taken on film. So you can do like the double exposure thing, what have you. This doesn't appear to be like that. And it is a lot harder to mess with film rather than digital of today.
Yeah, pretty cool. And then it continues through here. This was the kitchen. Now, there was a wall.
Yeah, you can see where they've chipped out around.
Now, I do know that back in those days, they didn't ever have the kitchens, or they didn't like having the kitchens right in the house because of the fire.
Yeah.
But with walls this thick made of concrete.
Mm-hmm. And you can see kind of too, I guess, mirroring the floor. Looks like there was a wall here, and that's where they stopped chipping. They chipped all this out, but this part is smooth. So there's another doorway that you can see
there
from here to walk to get to that.
So, look at the sink. I love these old butler sinks.
Yeah. We've, I think, seen a sink and combo just like this at a mining camp one time. Same handles, everything.
And, oh, look at the stove.
That's a beauty.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Little bits and pieces.
This stuff is so neat.
And then, of course, you have the dumb waiter. Would you take a look at this? Now,
Oh, wow.
so there's some bones. Where's the little animal?
Dead animal, bird or
And
something?
some coins. So these were all legitimately found here in the dumbwaiter.
Yeah,
Now,
that's amazing. Look at these.
what date is it? Is it done? You dropped that one. I don't think you should touch anymore.
1900.
Okay, so the jail was built in 1914. I can't take you anywhere. So there's
We'll
some,
just...
some bones.
Yeah, bones.
A stew bone?
A dead rat, stew bone, some kind of a steak bone, perhaps. And then well, I would imagine this would be for food and laundry.
Possibly. Definitely food. Yeah, because they'd have a tray. You put your food on, then the tray would go through.
Right.
Because the bars, so you can't, so people couldn't get in and out. That is really cool.
Amazing.
Okay. You ready to go upstairs?
Yep. I just hope there's no old coins up there.
So the second and third floors each had 4 cells. This one actually had a woman's cell. We'll go into that later. And each cell had 4 doors to open it. You had this one, which you had to unlock. Then you walk in, you've got this one, and this one. So this unlocks this interior door.
Okay.
And these walls are between 13 and 21 inches thick, and it was laid with concrete poured into wooden molds.
Right, you can see the steps. Each step, the different pour, all the way up.
Now, although it was actually quite a posh jail in a lot of ways, because this was the only jail ever known to have its own toilet, shower and basin in each cell.
Oh.
But the prisoners still had to lie on these bunks.
Right.
And there was 12 prisoners to a room. All the rooms had windows facing outside, which was so they had light. And here's no trip would be complete without a trip to the loo. Here's their loo, their basin, and the shower. And you think this was built in 1914, so to have indoor plumbing back then, most people didn't have that in their houses.
Yeah, it's true. Now this would be the women's section. And there's a funny story behind this. So the women's bars, these tables are original. There used to be, just like in the men's cell, cells here with the beds. These windows look out over the main street, courthouse is over there. The women used to stand in front of these windows and flash everyone that went by. So they had to change it up, put bars along the outside so that when they would still try to flash people, nobody could see in. True story. And this is the rest of the cell.
Pretty much identical to the male cell. It does have a loo, and it does have a basin, and it obviously does have a shower. Now, this cell wasn't crowded like the other ones. Normally maybe 1 or 2 ladies at a time.
Yep.
And that was because they were ladies of the night.
Ladies of the evening, typically.
Or maybe drunk.
Right. Well, hence why they would have tables and everything, so it was like their own. Well, hang on then. How come the men didn't have their own tables in their cells?
Too many of them? So this is the solitary, and this is where Joe and Molton spent 18 months while they were waiting for their sentencing. Wow. So you have to unlock the lockbox to unlock the jail. So again, 3 doors. And
boy, I can imagine how hot it would get in here.
Totally. Somebody's written something on the wall. Here inside these chambers of death, I will dwell forevermore. I lost my heart, my mind, my soul, just because of a bolted door.
This is an incredibly uncomfortable.
Well, you're not here for comfort. It's not the Ritz, you know. And then the other cell is identical. This one does actually have the toilet in place and the basin.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 more floor. Now, the crime which Joe Genna and Molton Brasseaux were accused, tried and found guilty of was termed by officers as the most dastardly, the most brutal and the boldest ever perpetrated in Beauregard Parish, or, for that matter, in the whole state of Louisiana.
So this is the infamous gallows, huh?
Yeah. So these aren't the original ones. And the hangman's noose isn't the original noose, but this is where the hanging took place, double hanging, on that fateful day in 1928. So these were the only 2 hangings ever in this jail, and that's why that got its nickname, the hanging jail. Now, they do say that the spirits still haunt this place. But did you also know that because their crime was so horrendous, which is why they were hung here, they wanted to be made
an example.
Yeah. Their bodies weren't allowed to be buried in the parish because they didn't want to dirty the ground. So the 2 bodies were buried outside the parish.
Oh, wow.
True story. So also on this top floor, you have 4 more cells. Now, these cells were for people who didn't do really bad crimes or they were on good behaviour. This is the cell that they actually found things in, hidden behind the wall. And prisoners had stuffed these bottles, letters, notes.
It's got a 40. I don't know if that's a year or...
And look at this. I don't know. Tiny little medicine bottle of some sort that's been wrapped up. The paper's disintegrating.
Yeah.
And all of these newspapers and everything were also pulled out of the wall. The date on one. Oops. Is that
May
90?
May 2nd.
1914. Wow. And I think this looks like, this is an old lantern of some sort. That looks like a, gas lamp. And then you've got good old Prince Albert. Oh, we've seen loads of these before. And all of this was found in the walls.
That's pretty incredible. And then,
And also,
checkers board.
now, what happened here is when they were cleaning up the jail, they hosed, high-pressured the ground, and this appeared. It had actually been painted over. They didn't even know this existed. But you can see how the squares.
Yeah, every other one's got some kind of a...
And you can see this, the grey paint, which was, they think, painted over. Yeah, they didn't know that existed. And the last thing I want to show you in here that they found, and it's such a shame, it's not complete, but it's a handwritten letter from a prisoner to whoever.
That is incredible. These are those little pieces of history that we say, you know, people's genuine stories. It kind of brings it to life, you know, somebody was actually here. You can see the remnants of them.
Now, this is where they used to take the prisoners to go to the courthouse, and the tunnel used to go right the way through. Unfortunately, because they rebuilt part of the courthouse, they put an extension, it does only go this far. But you imagine how many prisoners walked through this tunnel over the years.
Awaiting their fate.
And this is actually meant to be very, have a lot of paranormal activity down here, apparently.
Okay. Oh wow, look at this.
Is that a footprint?
It's like the outline of a footprint. Maybe not. Gives that appearance though.
On that one.
Yeah.
And then this is obviously another doorway. There you have it.
What an amazing building.
Isn't it just? Recommend anybody to come here.
Absolutely. Wow. Incredible. It's a good one, Louisiana. I wonder what's next.
Excellent.
There are many ways you can help show support for PEN. Watch their videos in full. See if there's something on their Amazon wishlist you'd like to send them. Maybe donate to help fuel Tonto, or even become a Patreon. They even provide a mailing address on the main page of their channel. You will find all those links in the description box.